As part of past couple of lectures, we have gone through quite a few details with respect to pgAdmin and Postgres database server that are running on same machine. In this lecture, I'll actually talk about pgAdmin to connect to external databases. As a developer, you not only have to connect to databases which are there in local machine, you also might have to connect to remote databases. For example, when it comes to the application development, you will start developing locally. Once the development is done, the application will be deployed in other environments. The other environments are nothing but testing, production, etc. We'll be creating tables and then we'll be deploying the application. As the application is used, data will be generated and data will be stored in the database tables. As part of application deployment process, we also need to push changes to the database. All the database changes which have taken care in the development process have to be pushed to testing and production eventually. As the developers, we are not only responsible for developing the application locally, we are also responsible for troubleshooting and fixing the issues that are there in application in other environments such as testing, production, etc. If you are asked to test some of the data related issues in production, then you need to make sure you connect to production database or test database and you should be able to run queries. For that purpose also, you should be able to use IDEs such as pgAdmin to connect to these external databases in testing, production, etc. and you should be able to troubleshoot the issues without any gaps. Now, if you want to visually understand, on top of your system, let's say this is your system, you will have n number of servers in a given organization. There can be many. Okay, let's name it as testDB for now. In the similar manner, there might be production DB also. Like this, there can be n number of servers in an organization. Let's assume we have Postgres database server running on these two. So let's copy paste here. Let me also increase the size of this. Let me also take care of increasing this one. Now we can assume that both of these servers are running a Postgres database server in them. When I say server, in this case, it is nothing but computer with operating systems such as Ubuntu, Red Hat, etc. On top of these servers, we have Postgres database server setup. DBS will take care of setting up these Postgres database servers. For your application, they will also take care of creating the relevant database and also relevant user. When you get permissions to connect to these databases, you will also get the credentials. You have to use those credentials to connect to these databases. You can use pgAdmin as IDE to connect to these Postgres database servers instead of struggling with command line interface. You have to create new connections. Okay, you can say testDB retail user, or if you have some other username given by the DBS, you have to use that username. You need to keep in mind that you will have some user to connect to the database. You have to just use that user along with the password if you are allowed to connect to the database using those credentials. Now let me move this little bit here. We can have connection to this database which is running on external server. In this case, we will not be using localhost. We need to get the IP address or DNS alias of this server. It can be testDB or something similar to that. And then you also need to have username, password, database name, port number, so that you can establish connection by creating additional connection in your pgAdmin. In the similar manner, you can also have for production. Let me increase the size of this. Now let me move this here. Let me say prod db. Now I should be able to have the connection from here to here. I need to pass relevant server details, either IP address or DNS alias, along with the port number, database name, username, and password. This is how you should be able to use pgAdmin to not only connect to local databases, but also to the external databases. Once you connect to the local database or external database, the interface will be same. You will be able to write all standard queries and run those queries. And also you should be able to review those details in a user-friendly manner. You will understand the capabilities of pgAdmin once you start using pgAdmin. You will be using pgAdmin quite a lot in this section as well as subsequent sections in this course.